Welcome back sa Mathusay General Math Tutorial. Sa lesson na ito, pag-aaralan natin kung paano mag-solve ng rational equations. Let's start! Sa pag-solve ng rational equation, may tatlong steps tayong susundin. Una, we have to multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. So, kailangan nating alamin muna ng LCD, tapos i-multiply natin sa given rational equation. Kapag na-multiply na natin ang LCD sa given rational equation, proceed na tayo sa step 2. We can solve the given equation. Kapag na-solve na natin ang given equation, kailangan pa rin nating i-check yung sagot o yung solution. Kung magsasatisfy ba siya sa given na rational equation or not. So, let's have these examples. Example number 1. Solve for x. 5x over 6 minus 1/2 equals 1/3. So to solve this, ang una natin gagawin ay i-identify natin ang LCD. So in this case, ang LCD nito ay 6. 6 dahil ito na yung pinakamaliit na number na pwedeng i-divide ng 6, ng 2, at ng 3. So, pupunta na tayo ngayon sa first step para mag-solve ng rational equation. So, i-multiply natin ang LCD na 6 sa both side of the equation. So, if we multiply 6 sa left side ng equation, 6 times 5x over 6, so makakancel si 6, we have 5x na lang. 6 times 1/2 is just negative 3, right? Kasi 6 times negative 1 is negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Okay, so sa right side of the equation naman, 6 times 1/3, so ilang 3 ba meron sa 6? That's 2. So you can cancel out 3 and 6. So that's equal to 2. So meron na lang tayong simpleng linear equation. So to simplify this, mag-a-add tayo ng positive 3 both sides of the equation. So, meron tayong 5x equals 5. Now, since we want to solve for x, so dividing both sides of the equation by 5, we have x is equal to 1. Ngayon, na-solve na natin ang given rational equation at meron na tayong sagot. But we still have to check this if this is a solution or not. So, we will do checking. So, when x is equal to 1, isa-substitute natin to siya sa original equation. So, we have 5 times 1 over 6 minus 1/2 equals 1/3. So, i-check natin kung equal ba to siya sa 1/3. So, 5 times 1, that's still 5 over 6 minus 1/2 equals 1/3. Now, you're adding the similar fractions sa left side of the equation, right? So, kailangan natin kunin ang LCD ng itong fractions. So, 6 and 2, ang least common multiple nito ay 6. So, magiging LCD niya ay 6. So, 6 divided by 6 is 1 times 5, kaya 5 dito. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Times negative 1, you have negative 3. So, kaya meron tayong 5 minus 3 over 6 equals 1/3. Now, simplifying the left side of the equation, we have 2 over 6 equals 1/3. So, di ba ang 2 over 6 ay pwedeng i-simplify as 1/3? So, 1/3 is equal to 1/3. So, it means to say that x equals to 1 is a solution of the given rational equation 5x over 6 minus 1/2 equals 1/3. Example number 2. Solve for x. 2 over x minus 3 over 2x equals 1/5. So, ang una natin gagawin is to identify the LCD of these fractions. So, ang least common multiple ng x, 2x at 5x ay 10x. Dahil ang 10x pwedeng i-divide ng x, pwedeng i-divide ng 2x, at pwede ding i-divide ng 5. So, ang magiging LCD nito ay 10x. This time, dahil meron na tayong LCD na 10x, imumultiply natin to siya sa both side of the rational equation. So, 10x times 2 over x. So, makakancel si x. Ang maiiwan is 10 times 2, which is 20. Now, 10x times negative 3 over 2x. So, mapapansin nyo, pwede natin i-cancel si x. Pwede din natin i-cancel si 2. Pero, ang 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, kaya 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Pwede din 10x times 3, that's 30x divided by 2x. So, 15 na lang. So, sa right side of the equation, so, you multiply 10x with 1. So, 10x over 5, that's 2x. So, again, meron na tayong simpleng linear equation. So, simplifying the right side of the equation, so, pwede nating isulat siya as 5 equals 2x. So, i-rewrite lang natin siya in this way. 2x is equal to 5. Pareho lang yan sila. So, since we want to solve for the value of x, dividing both sides of the equation by 2, you'll have x is equal to 5 over 2. This time, i-check natin kung ang sagot natin na x over 5 ay magsasatisfy kapag sinubstitute natin siya sa ating original na rational equation. Kapag sinubstitute natin ang x ng 5 over 2, we have 2 all over 5 over 2 minus 3 all over 2 times 5 over 2 equals 1/5. Now, simplifying the second fraction, 2 times 5 over 2, pwede natin i-cancel si 2. So, we have 2 over 5 over 2 minus 3 over 5 equals 1/5. So, we can simplify 2 over 5 over 2 as 4 over 5 minus 3/5. So, we know that we are adding similar fractions. So, 4 minus 3 is still 1. So, 1/5. So, we see that both sides of the equation is 1/5. So, we can say na ang ating sagot na 5 over 2 is the solution of the rational equation 2 over x minus 3 over 2x equals 1/5. Let's try another example. Number 3. Solve for x. 2 over x equals 9 over x minus 3. In this case, ang gagawin natin una is to find the LCD, di ba? So, ang LCD ng fractions na ito ay x times the quantity of x minus 3. Kapag i-multiply natin ang LCD sa both sides of this equation, pwede nating ma-divide ang LCD ng x o ng x minus 3. So, in this case, multiply natin ang LCD natin. So, multiplying x times x minus 3 sa left side ng ating equation, which is 2 over x. So, makakancel na yung x. So, what we have on the left side of the equation is 2 times the quantity of x minus 3. Right? So, sa right side naman ng equation, minultiply natin ang LCD sa 9 over x minus 3. Now, in this case, makakancel na ang x minus 3. So, we have 9x. So kung mapapansin ninyo, since we are dealing with rational expression at equality lang ng dalawang rational expression, no? So, instead of looking for the LCD, tapos mag-multiply tayo, ang gagawin natin, pwede tayong mag-cross multiply na lang. So, tingnan nyo, 2 times the quantity of x minus 3, pareho lang dito sa left side of the equation. So, kapag i-cross multiply naman natin ang x at 9, so you'll have 9x. So, instead of looking for LCD, so, pwede na natin i-cross multiply. That is, kapag ang isang rational expression ay equal sa isang rational expression. So, going back, isi-simplify natin ang left side of the equation. So, 2 times x is 2x and 2 times the negative 3 is negative 6 equals 9x. So, we will combine like terms. We have 2x minus 9x equals 6. So, 2x minus 9x, that's negative 7x, equals 6. Since we're looking for the values of x, so anong gagawin natin is magde-divide tayo both sides of the equation by negative 7. So, the value of x should be negative 6 all over 7. So, this time, ang gagawin natin, i-check na lang natin kung mag-hold true ba ang solution na ito. So, bago natin siya matawag na solution, so we have to check kung magsasatisfy ba siya sa 2 over x equals 9 over x minus 3. So, kapag sinubstitute natin itong value sa original na rational equation, we have 2 all over negative 6 over 7 equals 9 all over negative 6 over 7 minus 3. So, ang unang gagawin natin is i-simplify natin yung right side of the equation. So, ang nangyari sa right side of the equation natin sa denominator is that we multiply 7 times 3 kasi nagsasubtract tayo ng fraction at ng whole number. So, instead of looking for the LCD, pwede na nating i-multiply ang 7 times 3, that's 21. So, kaya meron tayo sa denominator na negative 6 minus 21 all over 7. So, simplifying this side of the equation, you'll have negative 14 over 6. Bakit kaya? So, itong 2 all over negative 6 over 7, kinuha natin ang reciprocal ng denominator. So, pag pinaliktad natin ang denominator, we will multiply it with the numerator, which is 2. So, 2 times 7 is 14 all over 6. So, sa right side of the equation naman, so, pag kinombine na natin ang negative 6 at negative 21, we have negative 27 over 7. So again, simplify natin ang right side of the equation. You'll arrive with negative 14 over 6 equals negative 7 over 3. So, we can still simplify negative 14 over 6 as negative 7 over 3, which is the same with the right side of the equation. So, in this case, masasabi natin na ang x equals negative 6 over 7 ay solution ng rational equation na 2 over x equals 9 all over x minus 3. Klaro? Example number 4. Solve for x. X over 3 plus 12 over x equals x minus 2. So, ang una natin gagawin is to look for the LCD. Tapos, i-multiply natin sa both sides of the equation. So, in this case, since dalawa lang yung fraction na pinag-uusapan natin, ang LCD nito ay 3x. Kasi, ang 3x pwedeng i-divide ng 3, pwede ding ma-divide ng x. So, multiplying 3x to both sides of this equation, we have, so, 3x times x over 3. So, ang mangyayari, makakancel natin si 3. So, we have x times x is x squared. Now, 3x times 12 over x, ang mangyayari, makakancel si x, but 3 times 12 is positive 36. So, sa right side of the equation naman, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. Mas simple nang tignan ng ating rational equation. Kasi naging quadratic equation na. So, combining like terms, we have 3x squared minus x squared minus 6x minus 36 equals 0. So, combining like terms, pwede nating i-combine ang 3x squared at ang negative x squared. So, pag kinombine natin yan, kasi yan lang man ang pwedeng i-combine natin, so, 2x squared minus 6x minus 36. So, from this, from rational equation, na-transform natin siya as quadratic equation. So, we can still simplify this para mas madali nating i-factor. So, i-divide natin siya by 2. So, we have x squared minus 3x minus 18 equals 0. So, in this case, mas madali na siyang i-factor out. So, if-factor natin ang x squared minus 3x minus 18 equals 0. So, kapag finactor natin ito, alam natin na ang factor nitong quadratic equation ay x minus 6 times x plus 6. Dahil, kapag minultiply natin ang negative 6 sa positive 3, you'll have negative 18. Pero pag kinombine nyo, magiging negative 3. Right? So, check na yung ating factor. So, solving for the value of x using the zero product property, we have x minus 6 equals 0. Ang isa naman, x plus 3 equals 0. So, solving for x, so x minus 6, mag-a-add lang tayo ng positive 6 sa both sides of the equation. So, the value of x should be positive 6. Sa kabila naman, to solve this, mag-a-add tayo ng negative 3 sa both sides of the equation. So, the value of x should be negative 3. So, in this case, kapag isa-substitute natin itong mga values na ito sa original na rational equation, lahat silang dalawa, itong dalawang sagot natin ay magsasatisfy. In this case, x equals 6 and x equals negative 3 are the solutions of the rational equation x over 3 plus 12 over x equals x minus 2. Example number 5. Solve for x. For x minus 6 all over 2x minus 3 equals 7 over x plus 1. So in this case, kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong isang rational expression at meron tayong rational expression sa right side of the equation, and these two are equal. So since pinag-uusapan natin ay equality ng dalawang rational expression, pwede na lang natin silang agad i-cross multiply. So, hindi na natin gagamitin tong LCD kasi mas mahaba pang proseso. So, i-cross multiply na natin sila. So, 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times positive 1, that will give you 4x. So, next is i-multiply natin ngayon si negative 6. So, negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times positive 1 is negative 6. So, ang right side of the equation naman, 7 times 2x, that will give you 14x. Tapos, 7 times negative 3, that will give you negative 21. So, combining like terms, so we'll have 4x squared minus 2x minus 6 equals 14 minus 21. So again, mag-a-add tayo ng negative 14x at positive 21 sa both sides of the equation. So we have 4x squared minus 2x minus 14x minus 6 plus 21 equals 0. So again, magko-combine tayo ng like terms. So, ang negative 2x at negative 14x ay pwedeng i-combine. Ang negative 6 plus 21 pwede rin nating i-simplify. So we have 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0. So ngayon, from this rational equation, na-transform natin siya into quadratic equation. So we will factor this quadratic equation. So, ang factor ng 4x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0 ay the quantity of 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 5 equals 0. So, yan yung factor nitong quadratic equation. So, using the zero product property, so we will equate itong ating dalawang equation. So, we have 2x minus 3 equals 0. Ang isa naman, 2x minus 5 equals 0. So, mag-a-add tayo ng positive 3 sa both sides of the equation. We have 2x equals 3. So, since we want to find the value of x, so dividing both sides by 2, so ang result is x equals 3 over 2. Sa kabila naman, mag-a-add tayo ng positive 5 both sides of the equation. So, we'll have 2x equals 5. So, i-divide natin both sides of the equation by 2. We'll have x is equal to 5 over 2. So, this time, ang gagawin natin ay i-check natin kung mag-hold true ba itong mga solution sa ating original rational equation. So, to check this, isa-substitute natin yung values ng x sa original equation. So, x is equal to 3 over 2. Ang isa naman ay x equals 5 over 2. So, kaya kailangan nating i-check kasi gusto nating malaman kung solution ba siya or hindi. So, kapag sinubstitute natin ang 3 over 2 sa original equation, we'll have 4 times 3 over 2 minus 6 all over 2 times the quantity of 3 over 2 minus 3, which is equal to 7 over 3 over 2 plus 1. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, 4 ay pwedeng i-cancel with 2, di ba? Kasi may dalawang 2 sa 4. So, 2 times 3 is 6. So, sa numerator, meron tayong 6 minus 6. Sa denominator naman, makakancel naman yung 2. So, we have 3. So, dito pa lang, mapapansin ninyo na 6 minus 6 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. So, kung ganito ang case, magiging undefined. Hindi natin pwedeng masolve kasi 0 cannot be divided by 0. So, in this case, dahil hindi siya nag-hold true, ang x equals 3 over 2 ay hindi solution. Tinatawag natin itong extraneous root. Pag sinabi nating extraneous root, ang x equals 3 over 2 ay parte ng original solution. Pero hindi siya nagsasatisfy kapag sinubstitute na natin siya sa original equation. So, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay extraneous roots. This time, we will check kung mag-hold true ang solution na x equals 5 over 2 sa ating original na rational equation. So, kapag sinubstitute natin yan, we have 4 times the quantity of 5 over 2 minus 6 all over 2 times 5 over 2 minus 3 equals 7 rather, all over 5 over 2 plus 1. So, kapag minultiply natin ang 4 sa 5 over 2, so, makakancel na yung 2. So, may dalawang 2 sa 4. So, 2 times 5 is 10. So, sa numerator natin, magkakaroon tayo ng 10 minus 6. Sa denominator naman, since ang 2 ay pwedeng i-cancel out, so 5 minus 3 na lang. So, sa right side of the equation, sinimplify natin ang denominator. So, since you're adding a fraction and a whole number, so 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 5, that's 7. Kaya 7 over 2 ang ating denominator. So, isi-simplify natin both sides of this equation. So, 10 minus 6 is 4 over 2. So, dito, pwede nating isimplify ang right side of the equation na 7 all over 7 over 2. So, kukunin natin ang reciprocal ng 7 over 2, which is 2 over 7 times 7. So, ang result, magiging 2, which is equal to 2. So, ang value ng x na 5 over 2 is a solution or root. So, going back to our problem kanina, so, ang solution ng rational equation na 4x minus 6 all over 2x minus 3 equals 7 over x plus 1 ay x equals 5 over 2 lamang. Kasi ito lang yung nag-satisfy. Again, yung isang root natin, so kung mapapansin ninyo, parte siya ng original equation. Pero hindi siya nag-satisfy, kaya ang tawag natin sa kanya ay extraneous root. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nagsasatisfy sa original equation. So, that's why, napaka-importante na i-check natin yung ating mga solutions. Kung ito ba ay magsasatisfy o hindi. Example number 6. Solve for x. 4x plus 1 all over x plus 1 minus 3 equals 12 all over x squared minus 1. So, in this case, since marami tayong rational expression na pinag-uusapan, so kukunin natin ang LCD. So, ang LCD nito ay x squared minus 1. Dahil, kung papansin nyo, yung x squared minus 1 ay pwede nating i-factor out as x minus 1 times x plus 1. So, yung x plus 1 ay isa rin sa mga denominator. So, kaya ang LCD natin ay x squared minus 1 na. Or pwede ring x minus 1 times x plus 1. So, ito yung multiply natin sa both sides of the equation. So, from this rational equation, pag magmumultiply tayo ng LCD, so, mapapansin natin na magiging mas simple ang ating equation. So, x minus 1 times x plus 1, multiply natin sa fraction na ito, sa rational expression na ito, so makakancel ang x plus 1, right? So, ang may iwan is 4x plus 1 times x minus 1. So, again, imumultiply natin ang x minus 1 times the quantity of x plus 1 sa negative 3. So, meron tayong negative 3 times x squared minus 1. Tinype ko na lang ito na x squared minus 1 dahil alam natin na itong LCD is just the same with x squared minus 1, right? So, sa right side of the equation naman, kung magmumultiply tayo ng LCD, makakancel na yung x squared minus 1. So, may iwan is positive 12. So, again, we will apply here the FOIL method. So, magdidistribute tayo ngayon. So, 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 1, that's negative 4x. 1 times x is positive x. Then 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So, sa kabila naman, magmumultiply tayo ng negative 3 sa x squared. So, we have negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 1, that will give you positive 3 equals 0. So, magko-combine tayo ng like terms. So, ang 4x squared, negative 3x squared, pwedeng i-combine. Ang negative 4x rather, at positive x ay pwedeng i-combine. At ang numerical coefficient, o yung constant term rather, na negative 1 at positive 3 at 12 ay pwede ding i-combine. So, we have x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 12. So, again, simplifying this equation, we have x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. So, pwede na nating i-factor out ang quadratic equation na ito. So, ang factor ng x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0 ay x minus 5 times x plus 2 equals 0. Right? So, following the zero product property, so to solve for x, so we have x minus 5 equals 0. Ang isa naman, x plus 2 equals 0. So, mag-a-add tayo both sides of the equation by positive 5 sa x minus 5. So, ang value ng x is 5. Sa kabila naman, ang magiging value ng x ay negative 2. In this case, kapag sinubstitute natin ang value ng x, which is equal to 5 sa ating original na rational equation, ito ay mag-hold true. Samantalang kapag sinubstitute din naman natin ang negative 2 sa ating original na rational equation, ito naman ay magsasatisfy. So, in this case, may dalawa tayong solutions. Therefore, x equals 5 and x equals negative 2 are the solutions of 4x plus 1 all over x plus 1 minus 3 equals 12 over x squared minus 1. Let's take the last example. Number 7. Solve for x. 6 all over x squared minus 4x plus 1 minus 1 all over x minus 3 equals 1 over 4x minus 4. So, in this case, mapapansin ninyo na meron tayong polynomial expression na pwede nating i-factored out. So, in this case, mas pipiliin kong i-factored out muna lahat ng ating denominators para mahanap natin kung ano ba talaga ang LCD na ating i-multiply. So, in this case, pwede nating i-factor out ang mga denominator in this way. So, sa fraction na 6 over x squared minus 4x plus 3, yung denominator ay pwedeng i-factored as x minus 3 times x plus 1. So, ang x minus 3, hindi na natin kailangan i-factor out. Pero ang 4x minus 4, pwede nating i-pull out si 4 at i-factored as 4 times x minus 1. So, in this case, makakakuha na tayo ng LCD. So, meron tayong x minus 1, meron tayong x minus 3, at 4. So, ang LCD natin ay 4 times the quantity of x minus 1 times the quantity of x minus 3. So, i-multiply na natin ang LCD sa both sides of the equation. So, kapag binultiply na natin siya, so, ang LCD times the first rational expression, no, makakancel na ang x minus 3 at x minus 1. So, maiiwan 4 times 6, which is 24. So, kapag naman minultiply natin ang 4 times x minus 1 times the quantity of x minus 3 sa negative 1 over x minus 3, mangyayari, makakancel na natin si x minus 3. So, maiiwan negative 4 times the quantity of x minus 1. Now, sa right side of the equation, pwede na nating i-cancel out ang 4 times x minus 1. So, ang may iwan is x minus 3 times 1, which is x minus 3 lang. So, in this case, mas simple nang tignan ang ating equation. So, we can simplify the left side of the equation. So, ang gagawin natin is, i-multiply lang natin si negative 4 sa x. So, you'll have negative 4x. So, negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 equals x minus 3. So, combining like terms, we have negative 5x equals negative 31. So, from this complicated na rational equation, pwede natin siyang i-transform into this linear equation. So, to solve for x, ang gagawin natin is we have to divide both sides of the equation by negative 5. So, the value of x should be 31 all over 5. So, again, if you test the value ng x equals 31 over 5, isa-substitute natin sa original na function, mag-hold true pa rin ito. So, ibig sabihin, ang 31 over 5 is the solution of this rational equation. So, again, my tip to you, ang gagawin natin una is to find the LCD, then multiply it sa both side of the equation. Tapos nun, you have to solve for x, and then check your solution if it will hold true or not. Kasi may mga times na may extraneous root na present. So, kailangan nating ma-check kung mag-hold true ito o hindi. Please pause the video at subukan ninyong isolve ang mga equations na ito. Kapag tapos na kayo, type your answers in the comments section. Kung nakatulong ang Mathusay Math Tutorial na mas maintindihan ninyo kung paano mag-solve ng rational equation, huwag kalimutang i-like, i-share, at mag-subscribe sa aking YouTube channel. Remember, ang sekreto para maging mathusay, matuto at mag-ensayo. Abangan ang susunod na episode tungkol sa pag-solve ng rational inequalities. Bye!